you. Thank you. I'm incredibly impressed by the turnout and the. I'm impressed. I think any time that I appear at a university of any sort, because I was thrown out of New York University in my freshman year. I went there to NYU. This is years ago now. There are students here, I think, who were obviously thrown out and came here. I was a home economics major at NYU. And I was thinking that I'm essentially self-educated now. I had about 10 months of college, and I read the Made Simple book, I think, and 30 days to a more powerful vocabulary, and I tried to learn Spanish from record albums for a year and a half at the wrong speed, which was and when my friends were in college, I was in analysis, which is an interesting comment. I'm going to tell you the story from the beginning, I think. I was in group analysis. Let me start there. When I was younger, I don't know if anyone here knows group analysis. It's a group of very neurotic types that meet in a room a couple of times a week and sit around and twitch or something. And an analyst presides over you, and you raise your hand and say, "I feel short and unloved." And the doctor says, "Mr. Allen here feels short and unloved. How many feel he is?" And they all go up together, in unison. And I'm short and unloved, and it costs $20 to have that reaffirmed each week by the group. I had bad emotional problems when I was younger. I had an inordinate fear of sea level that I could never really come to terms with. And I really tried. I was in group analysis for a long time, and I did all the things you're supposed to do. I ratted on my mother, and told her. And finally the group broke up. This was ages ago. And I got in the mail about a year and a half ago, an engraved invitation saying there was a class reunion to the old group analysis group. And it was held in New York at a big hotel, very catered affair, and all the neurotics came back and everything. And this is an adorable story. Two of the kids in the interim had gotten married, and it's really cute, because it's what you'd call a mixed marriage, or an intermarriage. And the boy was paranoid, and the girl was schizophrenic. And there was a big conflict about which way they would bring up the children, I'm not incidentally in analysis anymore. The telephone company has a service for emotionally disturbed types called Dial a Prayer. They have a number that you dial if you're an atheist. You don't hear anything on the other end of the phone. Thank you. I want to tell a story now that I've given you a little background here. I have one relation with college. A long time ago, I'll start this off at the beginning, I was in New York at a ballet. And I'm not a ballet fan, but they were doing The Dying Swan. And there was a rumor that some bookmakers had drifted into town from upstate New York and that they had fixed the ballet. That was the talk. And apparently there was a lot of money bet on the Swan to live, I was there. I looked great. I had on my Italian suit, a very thin, tight, suffocating, sexy suit with a lot of buttons up the front here, and both my legs go into one pant on it. And absolutely adorable. And I look in this box, and I see a girl, but a really great girl with tremendous blonde hair. And I picked her up. I was really glib. And it turns out, I was glib. She was a Bennington girl, brilliant girl, studying at Bennington to be a woman-male nurse at that time in a 4-year program, and living not exactly in the village, but on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, which is a disaster area, really bad. She was going with, when I was dating her, this is interesting, a painter, a sort of a post-impressionist, mock, pseudo-psychotic, neo-quasi-Cretan painter, who, in the burst of artistic integrity, one night tried to cut off his ear in her apartment, really dramatically, but unfortunately he had tried it with an electric razor. When you have to do this for a half an hour, very depressing. But I gotta say, the girl was a swinger, my one swinger, I think. The girl was brought up in Darien, Connecticut. And when she was younger, she had a little adorable brother. And the parents sent the kid to military academy. And while he was there, he stole something. And 2 huge teachers caught him stealing. And they wanted to do things right, because it was military school. So they held a court-martial there. and they found the kid guilty, and they shot him. They returned to his parents half the tuition, which was in the contract, and all the name tapes went back and everything, and the rubber sheet, and all the extras of the nervous young attack. And meanwhile, I'm running crazy. His sister was really a doll, too good for me. His sister was a great girl, and we used to go up to her apartment late at night, and all her beatnik friends would be sitting cross-legged on each other there, and they'd be trying to make opium out of poppies given out by veterans on street corners. Plug in her $12.50 hi-fi set with a teakwood needle, and put on the record albums of Marcel Marceau and just lay back and excellent for me. But here's the catch. I was what you would call, I think, intellectually outclassed. I took the girl one night to the Yankee Stadium in New York, and Floyd Patterson was fighting Ingemar Johansson. And she interpreted the fight for me. It was really incredible. She told me that the fight was very Freudian, because when Patterson knocked out Johansson, he was really killing his father. He was also killing Johansson. That I added for her, And I said, you're right. It's got great meaning and nuance and shading. And who do you think the referee represented? And she interpreted the referee for me. She told me the referee was T.S. Eliot's Prufrock. A cynical, hypersensitive, wasted man incapable of making any sort of nourishing relationship and turning finally to a universe beyond religion. I think the referee, Ruby Goldstein. Anyhow, what can I tell you? She was a brilliant girl, too brilliant for me. She had won a scholarship to secretarial school, and she was ultimately run over by a freedom bus. I'm going to go now because they're signaling me for time, and I'm going to browse around the campus and see if I can fall in love. Thank you.